Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the football, the soccer, the football, yes. Join myself, Paul Williams and James Panas as we talk football. No games from last week, I'm afraid, international break, but there's plenty of games in this coming week, lots in fact. So find out what we think is going to happen in those games, and let's have a little flutter while we're at it, get a little bit of money on it, see how we're going to go in the bets. If you are checking us out on YouTube, there's video for this, and there's that little button that says subscribe. If you click it, magic things happen. Maybe. Anyway, here we go. This is CookieCast. You can't see the forest for the trees. And we are off, in theory. Theory states we are off. There's video, there's audio, there's people. I'm here, Paul's here, James Panas is here, James' iPhone has joined as well. So that can only mean one thing. We now have to decide whose turn it is to do the intro of this podcast. I believe it's not my go.
Not my go. Welcome along, everybody. We're back in the 3 boxes of hell that you see amongst you.
With the timer of hell as well, then.
With the timer of impending doom. It's like it's all counting down. But anyway, welcome along.
Hit the phone.
A thrilling instalment of You Can't See the Forest for the Tees. According to the names, you can't see the forest anywhere. So,
yeah, you got to look real far down the table, haven't you? Sure,
Matt will be appreciating that one when he listens.
Love you, man.
He always assumed that the name of the podcast was a dig at forest. So, there you go.
Let's see where we are at the end, Paul. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, I mean, it could be a sprint if you keep losing games, and then you're going to have to sprint like to get over the finish line. So.
We'll see. It's honeymoon period anyway, isn't it?
It's the witching hour where wins become losses and losses become wins. Sorry, wrong
Andy knows. Andy gets it.
Wrong spot, sorry.
Do I need to go and sort my lights? Because I can see like a proper flare going on there. Or is it alright?
It's not terrible, but it's not ideal. It's up to you.
I think you should move your head between the two, and then it'll give you like an angelic glow. And then we can just,
Oh, that way.
There you go. There we go.
Yeah, I can't hold it at this. Right, give me 1 sec to turn my phone.
You know when they do the podcast awards for special content and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean we're definitely going to be up for a podcast award at some point in time.
Big time.
So, now he's gone to no likes. One of the things about said football podcast is there were no games from last week. International break in it. Which, for us, meant no opportunities to win lollies. Because that's how we like to roll. But there will be, I'm sure, there must be. Even I've got football news. So
You're better prepared than me and Andrew.
Well, the virus creeping on those well-known football players. Was it CR7 taken down? chopped down at the legs by the virus. See,
That's
even
true.
I've got football news. So there's almost definitely football news. Then they'll be talking about what games we've got coming up, which I believe a veritable buffet of games this time out. To make up for the lack of games, we're doubling down on the games. And as we know, that's 2 chances to win loads of lovely money.
Yeah, it happens to us all the time, doesn't it?
Happened to us week before last. When I say us,
Yeah.
I mean Paul. But we're a collective, a hive mind.
Yeah.
I've gone with a little theme this week. So I thought, yes, you there in the red t-shirt.
I think the podcast has been going less than 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure I've seen James drink 2 different beers.
I was finishing one off, and then I thought, while I'm changing the lights, I'd just get another one, because there you go.
He's had a small can of what looked to be Moretti, and he's now got himself a little bottle of Heineken.
Yeah, because I forgot to put Heineken's in the fridge this morning, ready for when I got home. So there was a Moretti working, and I just put Heineken in the freezer when I walked in, just to... Although it's been in literally for about 10 minutes, so it's not cold.
It's fine. Just to put a little bit of chill on it.
Yeah. I know we've not talked about what's going on in the England game. I was oblivious to what was going on.
So, as we are recording, the England game is ongoing.
I just saw the headline of Maguire.
England are losing.
Yeah. Have you not been following the game?
If I'm being honest, I'd completely forgotten they were even playing.
I believe Maguire has seen red.
He has.
He's crap, isn't he?
He's certainly not good.
They were suggesting at the weekend, this is like obviously this week of football, they were suggesting at the weekend that the only reason he's playing 3 at the back is because, he doesn't want to drop Maguire, but there's 2 better defenders than him.
Oh my. Well.
What became of all of the birthday celebrating football players?
I don't know, is Chilwell playing tonight? They were suggesting that they might just have to swallow the pride and just play him.
Always good to stick to your guns when handing out disciplinary.
Can't see anything.
No, it looks like they're playing Maitland-Niles at wing back.
Interesting.
So, this week in football. Go.
Well, the biggest news was that some of the Premier League clubs attempted to put together a proposal of sorts. James might know the actual name of it. Was it something like Project? Oh Christ!
I don't know, but when you say some Premier League clubs, I'd read Liverpool and United.
Right. So it was called Project Big Picture.
Solid.
This was the update from Sky Sports at 8:53 p.m. on 14th the 14th of October 2020. Premier League clubs have rejected Project Big Picture, but have agreed to create an emergency financial package for clubs in League One and League Two. At a virtual meeting on Wednesday, all 20 clubs unanimously agreed that neither the Premier League nor the FA would endorse or pursue the proposals, which included changing the voting structure of the Premier League, as well as funding models for the English Football League and Football Association. The clubs have also agreed to work as a collective and with transparency on any future plans that involve the structure of finance of. The clubs have agreed to work as a collective and with transparency on any future plans that involve the structure or financial of English football. These proposals have now been rejected, but initially drawn up by Liverpool with the backing of Manchester United. So the proposal was that the Premier League would be reduced to 18 clubs. Can't see that getting off the ground to start off with. No more EFL Cup, so no more League Cup and no more Community Shield. The Community Shield is just a bit of a... I don't really understand why they want to get rid of that one. It's a one-off game. What's one more game? Special status for the 9 longest-serving clubs. The Big Six, Everton, West Ham and Southampton. So that's Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Man City,
Liverpool,
Man City and Spurs. Liverpool and Spurs. And then Everton, West Ham, Southampton. Only 6 of the 9 longest-serving clubs need to vote for major change. A £250 million immediate compensation for the EFL. That figure also represents the coronavirus financial bailout. The Premier League to commit 25% of future revenue to the EFL. And then the biggest point of this for me was the club that finishes 16th in the Premier League to replace the 6th place Championship club in the EFL playoffs. So I know they've got a similar system in Germany, I think, and Scotland for that matter.
Scotland just had a straight up game off, didn't they? It wasn't a playoff situation. The second bottom of the Premier League played.
Yeah.
Because it was only 2 up, 2 down, wasn't it, at one stage?
So I think how it worked was that in the Scottish Premier League, the bottom team went down automatically.
Champions went up.
Champions went up automatically. Then you had
and then
second,
the playoff winner then have to play the second bottom.
Yes, I think it was second, third and fourth. Then went into a playoff where third played fourth. The winner of that played second. The winner of that then played the team that finished second bottom in the Premiership.
Yeah.
But by the sounds of this thing, the team that finishes 16th in the Premiership would just have to go straight into the 4-team playoff in the Championship. So, to stay up, they'd have to win 3 games. But
I don't mind that concept.
I don't hate
it's like
it.
a lot more movement.
I don't hate it, but can you imagine all season, and they get binned out of the playoffs on the last game of the season?
You're so funny. Do you mean they dropped from 5th to 6th?
Yeah, but can you imagine that? Obviously, it wouldn't be a problem if it's agreed at the end of the start of the season. Then no one, the team who finishes 6th can't then just go, "Oh, this is unbelievable."
Yeah.
So
why are they proposing that this takes effect before the end of this year?
I'm assuming. Well, no, I'd imagine that that's the restructure one. So obviously,
yeah.
Currently 20 teams in the Premier League. So the last time they did the restructure was
they did it over a couple of years, didn't they? Where it was just like 4 down, 3 up.
They did it over the course. No, it was 4 down, 2 up. So
I thought they did it twice. 4 down, 3 up. 2 years running.
No, if you think about it, what they did.
Did it go straight from 42 games to 38 games?
Yes, it was basically because was it not all the leagues had 24 teams?
22.
22 teams in them. That'd probably make more sense. So you went from having because that wouldn't add up, would it?
It must have been 22 in top division and then more in other ones. Because we've definitely never had more than a 42-game Premier League, have we?
No, I don't think so. So if there was 22 there, that leaves 70 other teams to be distributed amongst 3 divisions. must be 4 is 48. Yeah, so it must have been 24, 24, 22, and then by dropping the extra 2 from the Premier League, it dropped it to 20, and then 3 sets of 24. So, at the end of the 94-95 season, 4 teams went down from the Premier League, and then 1 team went up automatically from the Championship.
And then play
Division 1 as was.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teams finishing 2nd to 5th then went into the playoffs. Must have been an absolute hell of a team that went up that season as the champions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That was the season that Middlesbrough got promoted back to the Premier League. So they've done it before. They've done it before with the restructure, but the only problem with that is that obviously that would then imbalance the Football League figures. So you'd have 18 in the top division, then would you have a 26-team championship?
Wait a minute.
Or would you try and do 25, 25, 24?
They just have to see that drop all the way along the leagues, wouldn't they, surely? Can you imagine a 26 team championship? 50 league games?
Yeah. It could happen. But, so, obviously, well, it's not going to matter anyway, because apparently it got unanimously shut down, so... I think it's the old adage of turkeys voting for Christmas sort of thing, isn't it? Like, if you tell Premier League teams, we're going to try and make it a bit more like it's a closed shop, so
everyone outside those top 9 goes no.
Yeah, so teams like Burnley, for example, probably just go, no, we'll reject that proposal if that's all right, thanks. Teams like Villa just going, can we go back like 6 years when we were quite a long-standing member of the Premier League, please? So I don't think it'll be the end of it. I imagine there'll be revised proposals will come to the forefront and things like that. So certainly won't be the last we hear of it from my perspective. But yeah, it's great.
Anything else from this week?
I just saw a couple of stats about South American goal scorers. See, there was someone scored for Argentina last night, and I think they said it was the first time in 4 years someone not called Lionel Messi had scored a World Cup qualifying goal.
How insane is that? Especially when you consider that Argentina have got Aguero, who can play up top for them. Higuain, who can play up top for them.
And then that one that come out today where Neymar's now Brazil's second top goal scorer. Went past Ronaldo last night with an hat-trick, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did it say that he's only 13 short of Pelé now or something?
Wow. Impressive. Yeah. And he's only, what, mid-20s?
And I don't think he's regarded as one of the greats. I never thought of him as that.
Well, there was always talk, wasn't there, when he went to PSG, the talk was that he moved to PSG because he wanted to win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, a bit short-sighted.
Obviously forgetting that going to PSG meant that he was going to a league that was going to be won by one team.
And until last year, famously crap in the Champions League.
Strange enough, against a team that he played for. When they were up on aggregate and Barca beat them 6-5.
Alright, yeah.
Or 5-4 or whatever it was. They absolutely creamed them. There were four. There was something like they needed to score 4 in the last, or was it 3 in the last 5 minutes?
And they managed it.
Certainly managed it.
So yeah, that's all I've got. I'm just furiously just trying to get up the fixtures.
Well, I can tell you what the first fixture is if you'd like, because funnily enough, it features your team.
Hit me.
So this Saturday, Nottingham Forest go up against Blackburn Rovers.
Oh, fucking hell.
Now then, gentlemen, what I will say to you is I've decided today to try something a little bit different. For me personally, I don't want to sway your decisions in any way, shape or form. I personally have already put all of my picks on the paper, which means that they're almost definitely going to be wrong. I have used the same score for every game. That's right. Just slightly manipulated to be able to do that. And then I picked goal scorers.
Does that mean you've got Borough beating Reading like 17-0?
And then I picked a load of goal scorers who almost definitely don't play for those teams anymore. So, fun to be had going forwards. James, as it's your team, you will pick last.
Mm-hmm.
So, Paul, what are you reckoning? Blackburn Rovers versus Nottingham Forest.
Go easy, Paul.
So, as James correctly pointed out, this is Chrissy Houghton's first game in the dugout.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think he'll win. Don't think he'll get beat.
Thinking one apiece.
Take me down for a 0-0.
It's interesting you say that, because normally I'd be like, Blackburn are free scoring. Been doing well. Just went back and had a look at the last round of fixtures. Blackburn drew 0-0 against 10 men.
You playing Cardiff?
Yeah.
Tomlin got sent off, didn't he?
Doesn't do well for my
Are you
prediction.
literally like Rain Man? Yeah. He got sent off with 20 minutes to go. Blackburn didn't win. Which is weird, because Blackburn have been scoring pretty freely this year.
I seem to remember watching it or seeing the incident on Sky Sports News, and I think he literally went up to the guy and just decked him. As he was walking past him, he just like chinned him or clipped him around the ear or something. It was like right in front of the referee. So blatant, and he was never going to get away with it.
Did he then fall on the floor, clutching his shin and being like, ah?
The write-up is, when Armstrong was sorted by Cardiff, it was the beginning to feel like Blackburn were taking over the game. This was certainly the case when Tomlin inexplicably got himself sent off. Sam Gallagher was in his own penalty area when Tomlin came charging in, leading with his elbow, and sending the back to substitute tumbling.
Bloody hell.
As you've gone with a 0-0, I don't need any goal scorers from you. So, like Indiana Jones, I went down into the tombs with a bag of sand and a hat and a whip, and I got the artefact and I brought it out of that tomb and I blew on it and the dust came off. So, 2-1 Blackburn Rovers. Armstrong and Gallagher to score for Blackburn, and
someone's been doing some research here.
Grabban to decide that it's time for Nottingham Forest to start putting goals on the scoreboard. James.
1-1.
I feel like somebody might have given you that score earlier. I can't think who it was. Goal scorers.
For Forest, Freeman again.
Free man.
Free man.
For
He was a free man.
For Blackburn.
Everton.
I nearly went with him.
Oh, Kurt of the old boy.
Okay, so there we go. Next game on my sheet is Middlesbrough versus Reading. Paul, as it's your team, you will pick last. James, Middlesbrough, Reading.
Be nice, James.
Middlesbrough 0, Reading 1.
Your Reading goal scorer.
I'm not entirely 100% sure how you pronounce it, but I'm just going to go with Mate.
Me! What are you doing, me?
Yeah.
I believe it's matey.
Is it Mate?
Like the bubble bath.
Matey.
Like the bubble bath. I clearly have a lot more faith in Middlesbrough than you do, James. Because I've gone with 2-1.
Middlesbrough.
Has anybody seen a pattern here? Paul, do you have a question?
Has anyone looked at the table?
Yeah, Reading
before
at
making
top,
that
having
prediction?
won every game.
Okay.
What I was going to say was, I've got James's bet ready to go. If you want it.
You're messing with his flow now, Paul.
So, James with his 1-1 draw Blackburn versus Nottingham Forest at 11-2, and his Middlesbrough 0, Reading 1 at 8-1, gives James a whopping double of 57.5-1.
Wonderful stuff. I've got Chubb, obviously, and Brit, and then Bulldog.
Sam Baldock.
Paul, how many are your team going to absolutely smash Reading by?
Well, before I give you that, Andrew, did you say a 2-1 home win double?
I did.
For your production.
Yes,
so, both games to finish 2-1 to the home side, 15-2, giving you a double of 71.25-1.
I like that. That sounds like a winner to me.
I will go for Middlesbrough 1, Reading Football Club 1.
Goal scorer.
I will go with Chubba, because why not? If he scores, he'll be the first Middlesbrough player since insert correct player's name here to score in his first 3 league games for the club. So, fingers crossed. For Reading, I will go with Puskas.
I nearly went Puskas. And now we've concluded that, oh my lord, I've just looked at it, across the week, Middlesbrough's 2 fixtures.
I know. Tough sledding.
Tough sledding.
Well, speaking of Middlesbrough, not only are they playing at the weekend, Tuesday, as is Nottingham Forest, but we'll get to that shortly. So, Middlesbrough. Oh, you need money on.
Yes, sir. So, 0-0 draw, Blackburn Forest, 17-2. 1-1 draw, Middlesbrough Reading, 11-2, giving me a double of 60.75-1.
Oh, that's very close betting this week.
It is. We're all in and around the £60 mark.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
So, Middlesbrough are first to play on Tuesday. And that game is against the Titty Bar, Bristol City. Again, Paul, it's your team. You will pick last. I've already decided the score. So, Jay, well, yeah, why not? Why not? And the pattern might become a little clearer. Bristol City 1, Middlesbrough 2. Wells to score for Bristol City. Obviously, old Chubber. And a classic wingy banger.
Casual wingy banger.
True story.
Yeah, boy.
James.
2-0 to Bristol City.
Oh! Take that, Middlesbrough.
Wells 2.
Oh! Paul Williams puts out of our misery.
I absolutely agree with James. However, I'm just going to put us down for a 1-0 loss.
Ugh.
But I do think it will be Naki Wells that scores.
You can't really pick Bristol City to score goals without it being Wells. It would be foolish.
Correct.
Now, the big question here, gentlemen, is: do we think that we can correctly predict Nottingham Forest versus Rotherham United in 3 minutes and 17 seconds? Yes or no?
Yes, but not bets.
Yeah.
So in that case, let's take what for the viewer stroke listener will be no break whatsoever, and for us will be almost no break whatsoever. And I will see you two gentlemen very shortly.
Could probably get beer.
See? Just like that. Dear listener, dear viewer, your life is not interrupted the way ours also wasn't really interrupted. So, final game to predict is Nottingham Forest versus Rotherham United. James, obviously your team, you will be going last in the pick. Paul, I have already made my decision. I'm going to go first. So there. Deal with it. Nottingham Forest 1. Rotherham United 2. Did anybody work out the pattern this week? Grabham is obviously going to be getting them goals this week, in my opinion. Now then, here we go. The Cell.
It's not Darius, is it? It's not Darius Vassell.
What? About 45 years old?
Is it Darius Vassell's son?
No! I think
just another Vassell.
I don't even know if they're related. Kyle Vassell.
Vassell.
He was at Birmingham a couple of seasons ago.
And Smith. Yeah, Paul, hit me with your rhythm stick.
Before we dive into my prediction, Andrew, I would just like to tell you that your 2-1 away win double is 9-1 for Middlesbrough, 12-1 for Rotherham United, giving you a double of 129-1 for that little ditty.
Tell you, if we win that one, definitely Coke and hookers.
Yeah, boy. So, I went 1-0 Bristol City.
You did?
Nottingham Forest versus Rotherham. Chrissy Houghton's first home game in charge. James enjoying his 18th different drink of the evening. Good to see.
Just a Coke Zero, man.
No doubt you'll be having a coffee. No doubt you'll be having a coffee before too long, anyway. So, Chrissy Houghton's first game in charge at home. I think he'll scrape his way to a 1-0 win.
Wow.
Now here's what's going to shock you. That goal will be scored by Jack Holbeck. So, my 1-0 home double, 13-2 for Bristol City, 11-2 for Nottingham Forest, gives me a double of 47.75 to 1.
Wow. Come on, James, take it home for us.
I'm going to go for a Forest win by 2-1.
Goal scorers.
For Rotherham, Sadlier. For Forest, Grabban, although I'm not 100% sure he's going to play. And we might split the difference. I might just go Taylor. Because I'm not sure which one's going to play. I think it kind of depends on the result earlier at the weekend as to what happens in this game.
Would agree with that. So, to round out the week nicely, James has a Bristol City 2-0, 11-1, Nottingham Forest 2-1, 7-1 double, returning him 95-1.
That double click signifies the end of the predictions, gentlemen. Then we've got a good spread there, good chances. Get some more pennies in the bank. Get those coffers coughing. So, as the predictions are in, that brings us to any other business. James, any other business?
Not from me.
No. Paul, any other business?
No, sir.
And I'm sure we're not surprised to find out I have no other business. So, it's thank you from me to you, James. I know you're a busy man, and freeing the time up to do this is appreciated. Paul, as always, an absolute delight. And,
not a busy man.
He's as busy as any other man that can be in the midst of whatever the hell we're dealing with these days. There we go.
As a phrase I've heard on another one of the podcasts I listen to, busier than a one-armed paper hanger.
What?
Yeah. Work that one out.
What was the podcast?
It was a wrestling podcast. Obviously.
Wrestling. Right.
Busier than a one-armed paper hanger.
I don't understand it. And I don't intend to.
Well, he's only got one arm, hasn't he? So you'd have to paste the paper and paste it. Busy boy.
Right. Well, thank you very much for that. That enlightened end to this podcast, and I will check in with you, gentlemen, next week. Thank you. Bye. So there you go. What do you think to that? Another one done. Another week gone. Another week of the season gone. It'll all be over before you know it. Better make the most of it, hey? YouTube watchers. Should I say YouTube subscribers? You guys are the real heroes, aren't you? You know you are. Of course you are. Everybody jump over to thecookiecast.com. Check us out over there. Send us some form of love. Social media, email, kiss the screen, anything. We accept it all. So that's it for this one. Until next time, I'll say bye, and I will see you then. Bye.